Hello and welcome to the Football Fix, your weekly fix of football news and results. Today is the Weekend Roundup. Normally in the Weekend Roundup I would round up all of the scores from the English football leagues and the Premier League, but as the Premier League has not started yet, I'm going to throw in some news from across the English leagues and Europe, as well as some results from European games and the Football League. So let's start with the biggest news from actually Friday, which was Neymar's move from Barcelona to PSG for a world record fee of £200 million, where it's reported Neymar will earn just over £40 million a year, which is ridiculous. PSG played at the weekend and they won 2-0 against their first league match, but Neymar did not play. This was because documents weren't lodged in time for him to feature in the match. Moving on to the first real competitive match of the season. This was in Germany. This was Bayern Munich winning the Super Cup 5-4 against Dortmund on penalties. Pulisic scored first for Dortmund, but Lewandowski equalised. Aubameyang then struck to make it 2-1 to Dortmund, but a late Piszczek own goal meant it ended 2-2, and Bayern won 5-4 on penalties, thanks to Sven Ulreich saving 2 spot kicks in the shootout. Then another Super Cup was played over the weekend. This one was the Dutch Super Cup, which Feyenoord won. It was in bizarre circumstances though, as VAR was involved. That's video assistant referee. Vitesse Arnhem were awarded a penalty after Feyenoord had actually broken down the pitch and scored. But they scored that penalty, but they went on to lose 4-2 on penalties after extra time. Some more transfer news from Europe is Wesley Sneijder is joining Nice on a free transfer, which is a big coup for them, I think. Then let's get into some British news. First of all, the BBC Sports pundits Danny Murphy and Trevor Sinclair are among 13 former players and managers who are going to review alleged dives, and if the players have been found to dive, they're going to get retrospective bans, which is interesting. Big injury news for Liverpool is that Adam Lallana is set to miss a couple of months because of a thigh injury. Reds manager Jurgen Klopp has confirmed this. The 29-year-old sustained the injury in the Audi Cup final defeat to Atletico Madrid on Wednesday. That's a big loss for Liverpool. Some heartwarming news coming out of the Premier League as well is that Manchester United midfielder Juan Mata has pledged to donate 1% of his salary to charity and called for other professionals to do the same. The 29-year-old said he would donate the money to Common Goal, run by the organisation Street Football, which supports football charities worldwide. I think this is a fantastic move by him, and other footballers should follow suit. Now let's round up some results. First of all, from the Championship, we've got Bristol City making the early run-in with a 3-1 win over Barnsley. Leeds beating Bolton on Sunday in a very entertaining match, 3-2. But I'm not going to show any tables yet because it's only the first game. Then let's get on to League One, where the main result being Southend beating Blackburn 2-1. That was a big shock, I would say. Portsmouth back in the league as well, winning at home 2-0 against Rochdale. And my home team Peterborough getting off to a good start with a 2-1 win against Plymouth Argyle. Moving on to League 2, the result of the weekend is Luton's 8-2 demolition of Yeovil. And then a good away win for Grimsby Town, 3-1 at Chesterfield, and Lincoln and Forest Green both picking up points on their, as they enter the Football League. Lincoln re-entering it, Forest Green in for the first time. Scottish Premiership now, Celtic won 4-1 against Hearts in their opener. Celtic looked very dominant. Goals from Lee Griffiths and McGregor put them in charge of the easy 4-1 win, and I'm not sure who's going to keep up with Celtic this season. Hopefully Rangers will be able to keep up with them, and they beat Motherwell 2-1 away. 2 debut goals from Graham Dorrance, the winner coming from the penalty spot. But 2-1 against Motherwell, I know it was away, but maybe they're not going to be able to keep up with Celtic this year. We'll see. We'll tell as the season goes on. The rest of the scores for the Scottish Premiership are on the screen there. Aberdeen, second place last year. They opened their account with a 2-0 win against Hamilton. And then the big game in England over the weekend was the FA Community Shield between Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal the FA Cup winners, Chelsea the league winners from last year. And Chelsea took the lead early in the second half, Victor Moses scoring for Chelsea and then doing a diving celebration as he was sent off for diving in the FA Cup final last season. But then Chelsea got another player sent off, with Pedro getting a straight red for a challenge. I wasn't too sure if it was a straight red, but the referee had a good game, so I'm going to have to agree with the ref. From that resulting free kick, Arsenal scored the equaliser from Kolasinac. He looked really good when he came on, and that meant the game went to penalties because it was 1-1, and it was the ABBA penalty system, the ABBA system, which Arsenal triumphed in, winning 4-1 on penalties. The main talking point being Courtois taking the second penalty for Chelsea and blazing it straight over the bar. So Arsenal win the first trophy of the season, the Community Shield. They looked pretty okay in the game. What do you guys think? Did Arsenal play well? Did Chelsea let themselves down? What was the best result of the weekend? Put it in the comments below. How did your team get on? How did you think they played? Tell me in the comments below. I've been the Football Fix. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe and comment for more.